Ever dreamed of flying above the clouds, traveling the world, and being paid to do it? Today we're talking about how you can become a pilot. When I was a kid, I used to look up at the sky and wonder, what would it be like to be the one in that cockpit? Fast forward a few years, and I'm sitting in a flight simulator for the first time, gripping the controls like my life depended on it. If you've ever dreamed about becoming a pilot, let me walk you through exactly what the journey's like. Not just the steps, but the reality, the good, the bad, and the why did I spend $80,000 to be exhausted at 5 a.m. moments. For most pilots, the first step isn't some fancy aviation school, it's curiosity. Maybe it's a love of travel, or maybe you're like me and you just wanted a job where your office has a view of the whole planet. Either way, the dream has to be strong enough, because this career takes commitment. You don't need a college degree to start flying lessons, but you do need to be at least 17 for your private license and 18 for commercial. First big checkpoint, FAA medical certificate. Think of it as your official stamp saying, yes, you're healthy enough to fly. Side note, if you hate math, you'll still need to brush up because aviation is basically math, physics, and a little bit of praying the weather cooperate. Before you start dreaming about wearing the captain's hat, let's talk about what it actually takes to qualify, because not everyone can become a pilot, and the main gatekeeper is something called the FAA medical certificate. Basic eligibility. Age. Private pilot license PPL at least 17 years old. Commercial pilot license CPL at least 18 years old. Airline transport pilot ATP at least 23 years old. Language must read, write, and speak English fluently. Education, high school diploma or GED, minimum degree preferred for major airlines. Must have legal right to work in the country you plan to fly in. Medical requirements, FAA Class 1 medical certificate for airline pilots. Vision, distant vision, 20/20ths or correctable to 20/20 each eye. Near vision, 20/40ths or correctable. Color vision, must be able to identify aviation colors red, green, white. Hearing, able to hear a normal conversation from 6 feet away with or without aids. Cardiovascular, no serious heart conditions, ECG required starting at age 35 and annually after 40. Neurological, no history of epilepsy, seizures, or conditions affecting consciousness. Mental health, no severe psychiatric disorders, depression, or anxiety may be acceptable if well managed and cleared by an aviation medical examiner. If you're thinking about flying, get your medical exam before spending thousands on flight lessons. Plenty of people start training only to find out they don't qualify, and it's a heartbreaking and expensive discovery. Okay, let's talk about your first flight lesson. Your first lesson is magic. You're in a small Cessna or Piper, headphones on, the instructor next to you. You push the throttle forward and suddenly you're climbing. You're not a passenger anymore, you're the one in control, and that's when you know, yep, I'm hooked. You start with a private pilot license PPL, about 40-60 hours in the air. You'll learn takeoffs, landings, navigation, and what to do if the engine says no thanks mid-flight. It's a serious investment. Expect to spend around $10,000 to $15,000 just to get through this first stage. But it's also the point where you'll know for sure whether flying is truly the path you want to take. Here's where it gets serious. You'll need your instrument rating so you can fly in clouds and bad weather. No, they don't let you just wing it. Then you build up hours towards your commercial pilot license. Commercial license requires 250 hours minimum. Multi-engine rating if you want to fly the big boys. The magic number for airline jobs? 1,500 flight hours. And yes, that takes time. Most people work as flight instructors or fly small charter jobs to build hours. Let's talk money, because becoming a pilot isn't like getting a library card. Depending on the path, you could be looking at six-figure income. Some airlines have cadet programs, the military covers training if you go that route, and there are scholarships, but it's an investment. And like any investment, it pays off over time. The day you get your airline transport pilot license feels like getting your Hogwarts letter, if Hogwarts also required you to prove you can safely land a jet in a thunderstorm. You'll typically begin as a first officer with a regional airline, gaining valuable flight experience and building seniority. After a few years, you can move into a captain role or transition to a major airline, opening the door to more advanced aircraft and longer international routes. On Instagram, it looks like pilots are always in Bali or Paris. In reality, sometimes you're napping in a crew lounge at 3 a.m. in Chicago. But yes, you see the world, you get hotel points for days, and your office view? Unmatched. Don't just chase the money, flying is a craft. Network with pilots. This industry is smaller than you think. Keep your logbook updated like it's your diary. Protect your health. A failed medical can end your flying career overnight. If your heart skips a beat when you hear a jet take off, this might be the career for you. It's not easy, it's not cheap, but it's worth every minute. In the next episode, we'll look at another career that lets you travel the world, becoming a flight attendant. Until then, keep your eyes on the horizon.